You know, one of the biggest issues facing our state right now, whether to abolish the death penalty. Executions are already on hold in Washington state under a moratorium, and now some prosecutors trying to put that issue on the ballot, saying it should be up to the voters. Meantime, Attorney General Bob Ferguson says it should be up to lawmakers to decide. Ferguson says he has support on both sides of the aisle for a measure to abolish the death penalty in Washington state. So joining me to talk about this issue, Pierce County Prosecutor Mark Lindquist. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Great to have you. So prosecutors in our state, including you, would kind of like the idea of the public being able to make a vote on capital punishment in our state instead of leaving it up to lawmakers. Why?
Right, because, you know, our laws should reflect our values, and the death penalty is such a significant question, so essential to our values as a society. It should be put to a vote of the people.
Right now, your office is weighing whether to seek the death penalty in the case of a man just charged with beheading two people. Does this current debate impact that case at all?
Not at all. We make each decision independently, and we follow the same process. We look at the law, we look at the facts, and we look at all the surrounding circumstances, and just try to make the right decision for the right reasons.
Pierce County's seen some pretty horrific homicides in your region. If lawmakers do decide to repeal the death penalty, do you think that the justice can be served even in the most heinous cases? Is life in prison enough?
You know, Bill, I've spoken with families who did feel like life in prison would be justice. I've also spoken with families who felt like the only just punishment, for a heinous murder would be the ultimate penalty, death. So I've heard people and I've heard families on both sides of this, which is why I keep coming back to our laws should reflect our values, and we should put this to a vote of the people.
Yeah, and so that's your original point, and I think it's pretty valid. If you talk to these families,
right,
and ultimately it should be up to them. I mean, if people put themselves in those families' unfortunate shoes, you have to make that decision, and you have to say, well, what am I comfortable with? What feels like justice to me?
Right, and as a prosecutor, I represent the people, and you want to know that the people support the laws that you're enforcing.
There is at least one inmate sitting on death row in our state right now. Your office put him there. Do you think that their punishment will ever be carried out?
If the people of Washington decide that we still support the death penalty, remember the voters put this back on the books in 1981. And so if our people still support it, there are adjustments we can make to the law so that we are sure that it's always carried out in a way that is fair and just and certain.
And this debate continues in Olympia. We will continue to follow it. Pierce County Prosecutor Mark Lindquist, always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you so much.